Henga is 19 years old, so that's just a really like I don't know, grown-up mindset, I think, to have and realize that the game is more than just nonstop playing, doing the same thing over and over. It's a lot about the mental, the communication, the chemistry. She mentioned the teammates are friends outside of the game. All of that helps. All of that builds to hopefully a championship-winning team.
I mean, this lends itself to something that we spoke about yesterday during the broadcast, which is the pressure of live competition. It's a huge factor. It plays into a lot of the minds of our pro players as they play in, you know, a larger scale competition like this one. So it's awesome to see 9 Pandas, you know, making that gradual improvement, constantly improving every time they play, whether it's on LAN or whether it's, you know, on an online setting. But NAVI have a history of keeping their cool in online. I mean, let's forget about Katowice 2023. Let's focus in on their online matches. You know, Steph, they have a pretty good track record.
Yeah, they do. Their track record is impeccable online. And I used to say that, I don't know if it's because of their origin, a lot of them are from Ukraine, but they also were so calm, cool, and collected. They would clutch and we wouldn't see anyone flinch. They would stay like no emotion and stuff. But I feel like throughout the last couple of months and last couple of Impact events, they are becoming more and more in tune with their group, a little bit like what Heather was saying and what we just saw in your interview. They seem to be more and more connected, more and more sensitive to the emotions in the game, and I think it's actually helping them a little bit. These momentum needs to appear. Sometimes being too neutral is not necessarily a good thing in a game that's so passion driven like Counter-Strike.
Yeah, confidence is definitely key. I mean, speaking of Hanka, we're going to get her stats up on your screen very shortly. And I think that she spoke to having such an integral, such an integral relationship with the rest of her teammates. She said that it creates that team synergy in-game as well as out of game, Sapphire.
Yeah, I think it obviously speaks in the stats. If you look at this past ESL Impact season, Hanko consistently was one of those top players. Hardly going negative, making such a big impact on her team, and just making the players around her better as well. So clearly has a good mindset for the game, seems to play with a lot of confidence, doesn't seem to get overwhelmed. When you watch her demos, she doesn't look lost, like she feels like she's got a plan and she's sticking to it and knows how to pivot. So yeah, Hanka's a really exciting up and coming player.
I mean, we saw quite a fair amount of aggression yesterday with the 9 Pandas team coming into this match because, we saw them play not necessarily hyper-aggressive, but they weren't afraid to take those one-on-ones. They weren't afraid to, when G2 slowed things down, it almost got a bit unnerving for 9 Pandas. It kind of made them shake a little bit. So I feel like, can they take that same approach against a squad like NAVI? Or, do they have to play with a little bit more apprehension because, it's a different kettle of fish?
Yeah, I think that we're going to have to see a 9 Panda that is going to be more challenged today. So we might start to see more cracks left and right, something that we were not able to witness at all yesterday. And that's where Navi's experience is going to really make a difference in this matchup. So I think it's all about 9 Pandas being solid and just like showing up today, but it's also them to kind of have individual really amazing performances, because to beat a team like NAVI right now, we're gonna have to see some of their players step up a little bit, show off a little bit, double, triple kills. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to see.
Steph, it's time for that crucial element of the series because we're going to step into the vetoes. Let's get some tactics thrown around here. What are you seeing? Go on, let us know.
Well, interestingly, a couple of weeks ago or last week, when they played each other, 9 Panda let Nuke through, and it wasn't really successful. They got pretty much demolished on it versus NAVI. So now they're like, you know what? This used to be our permanent ban. Let's come back to it. NAVI, no surprise, they never play overpass. So now it's just a matter of, do we pick our strength or do we pick a little bit our enemies' weaknesses? So we're going to see a Mirage and an Ancient. which if I'm looking at their recent matchup, Mirage, NAVI won closely, 16-12. So I think it's a good pick for Nine Pandas. They think that they have found the key on Mirage, and on Ancient, it's just a more comfortable map for NAVI than on a Nine Pandas. So I think we're kind of picking in each other's weaknesses here.
Ooh, that's what we like to hear. Let's get this match a little bit spicy. Now, an important element of our warm-up in this studio for our viewers are your predictions from yourself, Sapphire and Miss Harvey. So I feel like this is mainly so that we can get grilled in the chat if we're wrong, but I'm going to say it nevertheless. Okay, Sapphire, I'm going to kick things off with you. What are your thoughts about this match? Tell us why as well, please.
Well, we didn't see any games go to 3 maps yesterday, so I think we're going to 3 maps. I feel good about that. Like you said, I think it's a battle of 2 very similar play styles, which is going to make this exciting. It's going to make it a brawl. I still like NAVI. I don't know. NAVI is the kind of the kryptonite, I think, for Nine Pandas. Nine Pandas hasn't lost a series either in the last 3 months. The only team they lost to is NAVI, and NAVI looked pretty darn good in that game. So I'm going to stick with NAVI, but I think Nine Pandas, they're tightening that gap. They're getting closer and closer, but NAVI win today.
Well, Steph, I saw you nodding your head through that, but so I'm guessing we're not going to have any butting of heads. Are you going with NAVI as well?
Well, you know what? Yesterday, Heather kind of made it interesting. She picked Nip, and they won. So I want to do that for Nine Panda. I kind of want to send them some energy. I'm going to pick them today. I thought they looked great yesterday. So confident. I want to go in through 3 maps, and I just want to make this interesting as well.
One apiece here in the studio, and we have had our say at the desk here, so it is now time to meet your casters. Please welcome Lucy and B-Dog to Gamers Without Borders Women's Counter-Strike Day 2.
Thank you so much. It's so great to be back here on day 2 for a very exciting matchup, Brandon. It's 2 teams that we love to see in the server against each other. Are you looking forward to this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw some added spice in here. I think it's gonna be NAVI Javelins. I think it's gonna be 2-0, and
okay.
I don't think it goes 3 maps. And I'll be honest, you look at the veto. I think if Anubis, if Nine Pandas picked that as their map and Mirage was at the end, I'd say yeah, I think we might be going 3 maps. But I've seen the way NAVI set up on Mirage. They've got that individual firepower upgrade with Danu out, Letty coming in, and she is a pivotal anchor over towards the B side of the map. And you take a look at the kind of the golfing class of the individuals here. Nine Pandas, they're a very systematic team, especially on their T sides, but I feel like NAVI have got really good fundamentals, really good reactions, and that was the downfall last time these 2 teams met up. And I think it's going to be a similar story here, Lucy. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, 2 very similar teams, 2 teams with plenty of experience against each other. A story will continue to evolve over the course of this game, but we jump into the pistol now, and Viku jumps down. She's getting low with it, and there's a lot of Pandas coming from top mid. She's going to greet them in a moment. 1 shot onto Shu. Oh my god, it's Viku. 2 massive kills to kick things off, and Hank has found 1 as well. That bomb out in the open. Fatal feels like she needs to deal with Viku, but you don't just deal with Viku. Costs her a bit of health in the process. That bomb now has to be recovered. A 2v4, a difficult position for Nine Pandas to be in.
It gets dangerous. And Letty, oh, it's just the continued aggression. Does whiff the shots, but it gives over some more information. And that can allow Hanka to step up in. And whilst Fatal's distracted with Letty, that might have allowed the opportunity. But the 1v1s, NAVI, you can't be giving these up. That's 2 of them now. But keep your eye on Angelka, because she's flanking top middle.
Yeah, Dorvert is in hand. She'll be the undoing of this round. Although long range wasn't ideal, Hanka gets 1. So it's just on to Victoria now. This has gone into a 1-on-2 from a 2v4, so this is a pretty decent recovery, but not for long. Angelka makes sure that Victoria can't get up to anything there. And so NAVI pick up the pistol. Nine Pandas, no bomb plant, unfortunately, on their map pick.
That makes the investment feel a little bit worse if you do want to dive in with the Force. I feel like it should just be a save here. Maybe a couple of flashbangs coming into the mix to try and get a bomb plant in for Nine Pandas. And yeah, they're in agreement. They want to bring the rifles out as soon as possible, which means that we're not going to have this Force. Take a look at this again whilst we've got the opportunity. Viku and Hanka looking crisp. They're 2 players that, well, one was definitely highlighted. Viku, I want to pick up on. She's looked incredible. Angelka as well. They're the X factor here for NAVI.
Yeah, I rate VQ as one of the top 5 women's players in the world. Absolutely. And Angelka not far behind her, and she's going to get to clean up some M4A4 kills here. Letty as well can get some cash with the MP9, but that's an easy B hold. The flashes don't get too much done there. Navi respond to the eco very comfortably. Now the guns will come out for 9Pandas Fearless. And we get to see what they bring to the table. These two teams, as we kind of mentioned, a long storied history between them. Yes, Navi have come out in the last 2 times, so you've got to think of the context of the matches that these two teams have had against each other. The first time they met up towards the end of Impact Season 2, 9Pandas won that, denying Navi a chance to play in the LAN finals, but Navi responded in kind in the Kato qualifiers. Now Angelka, she's getting aggressive, gets the opening kill and avoids the flame, so not traded out. But look at this pace. Letty's tucked on under in a powerful position, almost finds 2. And that might be enough damage done for that anchor, but not if Elizabeth takes down Angelka. 3v3 ensures that bomb can make its way through. Going for the plant, but look at this fast flank.
Yeah, I actually really like the idea. 9Pandas trying to get aggressive in towards market because you understand about top middle. But you completely overlook Hanka, who doubles down. And now Victoria, she's in this clutch situation. Position unknown at the moment, but VQ comes around the corner and denies. I'll be honest, it looked like it was going to be a really good after plant coming in. 9Pandas planting for market, looking to take the space out because Angelka's early skirmish in towards top middle. But Hanka just absolutely demolishes them.
Yeah, Hanka's just ready for it, right? I think that's just the key thing here. They weren't able to get into the post-plant positions because of how she held it. Just so passive. Yeah, look, check out this angle. That's so hard to deal with if you're Shu. And then she's ready for the second as well. So her teammates, by the time they come through, it's easy pickings. And these rounds have been fast so far. I wanted to get into a bit of story building in that last round, but it was kind of thrown straight into the thick of things. And I expect that it's going to continue, which is kind of surprising because when I look at the two teams, often it's a little bit more reserved between the two, a bit more, I don't know how you describe it.
Like calculative? It's like
the words
server, right?
Evading me, but you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and I couldn't have said it better myself. It's the fact that 9Pandas, they're really systematic in the way they approach their T side, and it was a real surprise to me to see them kind of rush, accelerate things, and push the issue. Here now, we've got a little bit more of a default. Lena tries to flush out Elizabeth with the incendiary, but it's to her demise. Good mid-control being established by 9Pandas, especially on Mirage. It's really prevalent and key. As this T side, you lock down this area of the map, because then you can split your attacks when you start to head in. Deep smoke, but Hanka walks past it. Elizabeth, though, is taking scalps.
Yeah, Hanka already good for the one there. Took a lot of damage. And Victoria's spacing. It looked like she was good for the kills, but no, it's Angelka. Doubles up. And what looked like a great opportunity for 9Pandas taking space is immediately quelled by Angelka. They're split up at the moment. Shu's going to be making her way towards A. Taddy will be joining her through mid, but it will be late. And Angelka's still hanging around. Going to be grouping up with Letty so they can trade off each other. This bomb waiting for Taddy to take the space. And I like this from Navi, grouping up together, moving over towards CT. There's no smoke to block this off, and there's so many exposed positions on Mirage that you want to be planning for CT. And oh, that's a nice kill from Shu. But is she ready for Letty? Who's walked on through, one back turn, finds that one, knows where Shu is because of the bomb, and that's a nice follow-up. Letty coming in clutch.
Yeah, it's nice ideas from 9Pandas, but you're starting to see the execution peter out a little bit towards the tail end. There was 2 flashes there, and it looked like Tati wanted to take space towards jungle, which makes sense in essence, but at the same time, if you're taking space on that side of the map, let's plant reverse triple. Let's maybe use the flashbangs to be a little bit more effective. Shu's flashbang actually landed a little bit short into CT, which allowed the kill to come in the first place. It's just a little bit scrappy. And well, I mean, what can you realistically do against that? It is the eco, so we can kind of just wipe and just brush this one under the carpet a little bit for 9Pandas, but it feels very sluggish from them.
Yeah, well, let's take this moment to big up VQ. Okay, well, hold on, that was a pretty nice shot. But VQ is one of the best authors, I think, in the ESL Impact circuit and women's scene. There's a lot of good AWPers. Obviously, Anna comes to mind as the #1 player. Zana, we saw in action yesterday, as well as Astra, who's really been stepping up this year in particular. But I think VQ is just like the most consistent AWPer out there. Like, it just feels like she never has a game where she goes missing and she hits every single shot that comes her way, which obviously is what you want your AWPer to doing, but you just can't get past her. And I think we kind of saw it there with those 2 eco kills, just in terms of there's just no opportunity to capitalize on a space that she's holding.
You know what I'd have liked here, Lucy? A pause.
Oh,
Victoria,
5-0.
Yeah, it's 5-0. Victoria's also just brought out the AWP for the first time.
So
I think it's
true.
important to maybe just take 30 seconds there just to kind of reevaluate what you want to do. Do you want her to get aggressive and try and take space? But take a look at the map right now, because whilst we got this fight, which VQ loses out to Shu, we've got a lot of aggression in towards mid. 9Pandas looking to change the pace.
Yeah, timing wasn't great for VQ. I think she had a bad spawn to be pushing that. She was there way earlier than she thought she'd be. And there's that space, taking the smoke fades, and Fatal swings on through. Hanka wants to find Shu, but she's holding that angle so deep. Really difficult fight. And all right, well, that's the round for 9Pandas, just straight out the gate. Winning a couple of individual duels, and it secures it. And, you know, they're all pushing aggressive in towards Palace. It's a nice play to be making, but I think really the issue there was the timing, right?
Yeah. And also the fact that she lost the duel as well. Because
Well, yeah, obviously.
But the fact that that happens means that NAVI are so much more delegated into putting rotations over towards B, transitioning through from potentially short or market, that you leave connector completely exposed. And you can see the timing of it. Lena is looking, turns her back to address Palace, and that's where 9Pandas execute through. So what we are now seeing, despite, I just said, a sluggish start, that was really nice reactions based off the initial contact that was made. And the fact that 9Pandas do it in such a flurry and a fury, and it's immediate, is a really good showing to get their first round on the board.
Yeah, Fatal and Shu are kind of the 2 players I think of in this team in terms of just pure rifle prowess. Oh, Taddy might be getting a kill here. Oh, actually gets Letty. I thought Letty had her for sure there with that elevated angle. So that's a little bit of a painful loss there. It does mean Letty's going to be running with a little bit less util. But yeah, keep an eye on Shu and Fatal, because I feel like they're like the most consistent riflers for this team. I think particularly on LAN. Obviously, it's an online event, but it's really impressed me just how they translate their skills across between the 2 formats.
Very fast, perfect flashbangs. Lena finds Fatal, and she's out of there. That's the most important thing, because now Tati, trying to take space, has to now deal with Angelica. She does so. Letty full blind, though. Immediate trade coming out the gates for Na'Vi. It's still a 4 versus 3. Player advantage for the CTs.
Yeah, good trade. And Pandas are often good at slowing things down. We saw it in the pistol round, right, where they just put the brakes on, let the other team make the mistakes, and just wait. And Na'Vi, you can see, are moving around a lot. VQ is coming through at a good timing, and okay, that might just be it. Bomb dropped. No chance now. Na'Vi are going to rotate players over to help out, although the bomb's not under lock and key at the moment. VQ had to fall back because Letty wasn't here with her. That's a cool flash.
It is cool. Bounced off the fridge.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. That took me a second.
40 seconds. Letty can now play first contact. I love that elevation from VQ. It's so unexpected. You don't expect the AWPer to be doing that. And Victoria is going to have to try and save this. I think reflecting back on the point that you said about Shu as well, I'm going to go one step further. I think if 9Pandas want to win this series, and in particular Mirage, it's going to have to be Shu just stepping up. Because in the last head against NAVI Javelins, she went a little bit absent, and that really cost 9Pandas, because they do rely on her as a pivotal piece. Shot missed as well from Victoria. Often good with the no-scopes. Honestly surprised she didn't go for one there on Hanka.
Yeah, I feel like she's she's almost better with the no-scope sometimes. It's kind of crazy how she makes those work.
Yeah. I think I said it in chat as well. It's 9Pandas in a series will not be complete without a Victoria no-scope and a Ninja Diffuse. That's almost a guarantee every single best of 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Expect to see no-scopes galore. and definitely a Ninja. That's how they qualified for ESL Impact 2 finals. It was off the Ninja defuse. I think it was Season 2 finals, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, you're right.
That was insane. And a heartbreak that NAVI never forgot and came back from in both follow-up series where they've taken them down pretty convincingly. I mean, this is a team that hasn't dropped a series this year outside of Kato, where they played in the grand final, right? This is a team that's on par with, I think, the very best in the world conversation. If we see a grand final, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if we see Enigma Galaxy vs NAVI in the grand final, I think that's a very exciting affair. Obviously, the top 2 seeded teams coming in here.
So good. You can see the way the AWP's being utilized as well. The fact that it's not actually going for a peek in towards window, which is what you'd commonly expect. It's the extremities. It's just picking off players that are trying to lurk and gather information. And it's also just allowing these mid players to be in position. But Lina gets caught off guard yet again. But Viku, dynamic as ever, drops the bomb, pushes Fatal in with the incendiary, but can't quite nail the shot. But they are being surrounded right now, and Joker, Letty combining, and once again it's just Victoria in a very difficult clutch, has to use the molly to allow a little bit of breathing room to try and isolate the player under Palace.
Yes, it's so difficult for Victoria. 1v3, she has a lot of time, but so many players to find. That's a good first shot, but immediately Hanka swings out for the trade. I mean, I like the ideas there from 9 Pandas. They lose that player over towards B, then they put pace through connector, try and catch NAVI off guard for the aggression on the other side of the map. And it works out initially, but the rotations were just fast from NAVI. Because VQ had gotten that kill, Letty was already on her way. So it was very quick for her to be able to come through Murder Hole and get the trade.
It's also VQ leading a lot of these rotations. And you can see that the game plan, especially on the CT side, is very AWP-centric for NAVI. This time she wants to have a little bit of a peek in towards middle. Doesn't quite get the opportunity, which is a blessing for 9 Pandas. It means it gives them a lot more control towards the middle of the map. Victoria now looking for hers out towards Palace. Could come toe-to-toe with VQ in a second.
Maybe just a smoke. There's VQ striking again. The AWP shot echoing across Mirage. Now they start taking some space. Lena's getting aggressive here. She's not going to push the issue any further, but Victoria, she's ready for it. A nice quick flick up, gets that kill. A dangerous position to be pushing alone with that AWP, but the rest of the team is coming through Con. VQ's still here though, drops the bomb once again, but Victoria's potentially got her pinned in, but no, VQ's able to get away. A little flustered, but does escape. We're in the 3v3 now, and there's a bit of space here for 9 Pandas. They have to pick up that bomb, and Fatal taking down Angelka's gonna set them up for it, but Letty, again, finding a gap, and she is closing it. 2 massive kills. Taddy now, only good for the 1. VQ with the immediate trade, and it just feels like there's always an extra NAVI player there in these fights.
Communication is on point right now for the Javelins. They are dialed into the server. Really clever as well. You mentioned it, the VQ evacuation plan out towards CT. Even gets a shot towards connector at the very end that we'll see on the replay, but it's very cool to see. 9 Pandas are trying to throw a lot of pace in towards connector, so the answer for NAVI Javelins is they're going to group up. They're going to make sure that one player takes contact, then the second player, but when the second player takes contact, you've got the immediate rotation of the other player that was involved in the fight in the first place. So you never know which direction they're coming in. This time, though, it's a little bit faster. Straight out towards B apartment. Mac 10 overwhelms Letty. That's the bomb site compromised.
Yeah, VQ's arrived, but the bomb will be planted. She fires off a shot, lets them know that she's here. A smoke is actually a bit out in the open, but it's got the gap that Elizabeth is holding and a re-smoke towards window. Difficult now, but Hanka is going to be coming through shortly, making her way up. And she has to put the pace on with that smoke's going down, taking contact onto Victoria. No AWP in play, so they have a lot of space to work with. And Elizabeth, she tried to get tricky with it, but Lena takes her down. Now it's definitely looking a little bit better on the retake, but Shu plugs Hanka. With VQ going down, Lena's just going to recover that AWP and get out of dodge.
Yeah, nice stuff. That was just 9 Pandas going, okay, we haven't tried 5 players just go into one single position. Let's just have a go, see what we can achieve. And it's the Mac 10 overwhelming, leading from the front, that gets the trade on towards Letty, which is the most important one, because it gives space just beyond that bomb site. And NAVI just get overwhelmed and they have to just recover the AWP and get out of there.
Yeah, good stuff. Pace coming up through, gets the second round now for NAVI. Sorry, for 9 Pandas against NAVI. And that's reset NAVI in a way. They've had to force into this one. The 5-7 coming in. Deagle, MP9, trying to get up close, and, well, 2 of them removed immediately. VQ's here, though, with the AWP. Doesn't want to wide swing too much, knowing that space is taken in towards ramp, and so worried about mid because of that presence that's been put there so consistently from 9 Pandas. A good line from Angelica, but doesn't quite hit the shot. VQ, oh, she's going to be jumping into the window. Fatal spots her out, and the timing not good for VQ. Fatal was just waiting for that moment. They're having no issues dealing with this force buy.
Yeah, much better as well. These are the rounds that 9 Pandas need to get themselves back into this game. Obviously, Letty might even be hunted here because there's just so many players in close proximity to her position. Surely will be found out in a couple of moments, and that gets the third. Then you're going to have to go up against an eco, which will probably be 8-4. And then there's a lot of scope and a lot of possibility that we can then throw into the air about 9 Pandas even coming out with 7. It's a long way off right now, but they are doing it round by round.
Yeah, I will say 8 is actually pretty decent for Navi. I think that their T sides have looked pretty good against 9 Pandas in particular in the past. So I feel like they're already pretty comfy with this scoreline, but obviously they're aiming for double digits here. You want them more, obviously. Don't need to say that, but I think their T side looks particularly good against 9 Pandas, so I wouldn't be too worried if I was at any stage. 9 Pandas, it's all about the recovery.
What I will say is that CT side looked good for 9 Pandas last time these two teams met up against each other. That actually was a 10-5 half in favor of NAVI, and the game ended 16-12.
Yeah, exactly. And Molotov is perfect. Pushes everyone out. And Taddy gets a little bit of a headshot angle.
Oh.
2 goes down. Okay, no, it's being recovered. It's all good. The pistols only get 2. VQ's still here. Now, are you ready for VQ to be here? That's the question. She doesn't have anything for this USP. Lena's coming in with a P250 and armor, and she could get into somewhere sneaky. VQ feels like she needs to take some sort of space here. Oh, the dink comes through. Taddy's able to recover, so now Lena... Oh, she's found one. Knows that Taddy's low, but now they're going to be swinging on her together, and Fatal is there to keep it nice and under control, but that got very scary.
It's like the meme where the dog is sat in the chair and the house is on fire, and it's like, it's fine. Everything's okay. What was that, 3 kills, though, on the pistols? Limited investment? That is probably best case scenario for NAVI, bar winning the round. That's a lot of economic damage, and based on how close these rounds have been, look at what it's resulted 9 Pandas with in the bank. It's only Fatal with a little bit of a buffer. And Victoria.
Oh, check this. Angelica getting very aggressive, but she takes the flak, and VQ by her side falls as well. Taddy had that under control. Now 9 Pandas get 2 opening kills without really having to do too much work for it. Kills came to them. Lena spotted on the jump, but does get rid of Fatal. Costs her a little bit, but she's able to get away, so at least making it a little bit easier for Navi. 9 Pandas with the advantage. Looking to take some space back towards top mid. That smoking window, Lena's actually repositioned around behind it. 9 Pandas are patient.
Really like this setup out of NAVI, though, because wherever 9 Pandas been applying the most pressure, it's been in towards middle. Lena, that is a scary cross, but she gathers information. But it's a little bit of a false promise, because Victoria, Elizabeth, they're here already, and they're waiting. And they're finding a lot of control.
Yeah, if this ends up being the short split, which it is looking like it is, and the utility will confirm it, they've made the right read here. 2 players on the site with M4s. Lena's going to spot out some. A lot of damage being done here. Letty's tucked on through, but Lena taken down by Victoria. Letty surely known about now. She's been making a lot of noise here and is traded after 1. Needed the multi-kill there. Hanka's interested in it because she knows that at least one of these players was damaged, but I think holding on to the M4 is the play at the moment. So 9 Pandas able to convert after getting those 2 opening kills.
Yeah. Good round out of 9 Pandas. The fact that they do, as we've mentioned, just taking the sting out of the game yet again in the round where they actually got the advantage. Kind of gets traded back a little bit at the tail end, but it's with NAVI swinging quite aggressively to try and deny the short play. It's to try and catch off guard 9 Pandas as they make their way in towards the bomb site. You're expecting these close corners to be held. You're not expecting someone to wide swing in the middle of the bomb site. But Victoria, I think she was holding bench, so just kind of falls in her crosshair anyway. From 8-2 to 8-5. Feeling pretty good for the 9 Pandas right now.
Yeah, it just took a little bit to warm up into things. And again, Navi forced into a bit of a halfie. Got that M4 on Hanka, so look to see her get activated. Need to set her up with some flashbangs. Good to see how this one started out. Taddy with the nice angle there to get both. And you start to worry when Lena finds that kill and they get all the players in the right position. But I'm Pandas, able to keep it cool. The boost comes through. Exactly what you want to see. We've got to get this M4 involved early, and this is one way to do it. Fatal brought down low, but not a kill found, and there's no HE to kind of finish the job here. And they're just putting pace on, running straight into the B bomb site. Just Letty in the back here with a Desert Eagle. Not really what you want to be doing, holding onto to keep this site under control, but no, just the tag. Potentially an opportunity there. Elizabeth spots Lena trying to get tricky with the smoke, and Angelica dealt with on the flank. 9 Pandas ready for every single angle. And Hanka, after doing that initial damage, hasn't really been able to find too much else. VQ looking to get some more tags in, but it's all tags and no kills at the moment for Navi.
Yeah, I mean, Hanka could hang around here because she saved this weapon previously, so it might be worth going on a little bit of an exit mission. That's a good start. Finding Elizabeth. Has got information from VQ as well that one crossed towards bench, and VQ answers back. Very good exits right now out of Navi. Trying to restrict as much opportunity from 9 Pandas as possible going into the last round of this first half. Victoria missing another shot. Very uncharacteristic of her. But she will actually just level on the tech 9. Hanka finds her. That is so much damage. That's 4 kills.
Yeah, that's nice from Hanka. That last kill is crazy, just tapping at that distance, being able to find Victoria there. Obviously, they got enough to buy. It's not really a big deal in terms of the scope of things. Ideally, they wanted to get some AKs or an AWP to take away from that, but at the end of the day, plenty of money for 9 Pandas to invest into the final round. And they handled it well until they gave away these kills at the end, in terms of making sure that no tricky angles were exploited by Navi. Now we get the last round. VQ orbed up. Victoria on the other side, holding connector. About to swing all those angles. Easy for her. Looks for a second and lucky to get away. Victoria was moving into the angle.
That's when you know VQ's feeling herself. The fact that she goes to that repeak is so audacious. Yet again, we get another reposition. This time she's looking in towards top connector. Angelica with her position towards ladder could be everything in this round for Navi.
Victoria has to be careful she doesn't continue creeping on forward, peering into the A bomb site, because she will definitely be exposing herself to Angelica. And, well, no, maybe not an issue now. Elizabeth is the one that's holding for that. VQ does take down Victoria and then immediately puts a pause onto Elizabeth. Doesn't want to walk into that crosshair. She might be the one that does. That's a nice shot from VQ. So quick on the scope, straight to the head. And a 2v4 now in this final round. Elizabeth going to be joining up with Taddy, who is taking space over towards B. At the moment, Letty is the only one anywhere near this side. Lena will start to rotate over, but that flash means Letty has to play a bit more passive. That's the smoke she could have dropped on forward if she wanted to, but both these players are so low. Lena's dropped the bomb. And Taddy removed by Letty. So 9-6 the half for Navi, but a decent recovery from 9 Pandas at the end.
Yeah, definitely. The fact that they were kind of building their momentum. How important is that round though? NAVI right at the tail end of the first half to just cut it off. Now you go and reset. Now you go into the other half of play. Can NAVI start to build on this momentum? Or will it be 9 Pandas building back into the game? We're gonna have to find out just after this.
I'm sniper on the team. My name is Victoria. Next one is Fatals. She's IGL. Next one Elizabeth. She's just a rifle. Ksusha is lurker and Tati is just open killer. We were no fear. Then I left CS for Valorant and everybody just kind of was playing with another team and mix and blah blah. After everything, we just come, like, we know that we are good enough to play together and we decided to play together. Yeah, we have a boot camp and it was first time when we were working a lot. It was more than 3 weeks. We were sick, like maybe 2 days, but then we were working a lot and it's worked out and we won qualification for Dallas. We have a really good communication, I think. We are all experienced players. I feel like we are so strong right now and I can feel it.
Catch the wrong timing. Olga caught in the back lines. Fall back, they don't. One player goes down. Elizabeth now has to do it all, and she does. 2 quick kills. The bomb dropped in the open. Gabby, the only one remaining, and Elizabeth.
Playing here at Gamers Without Borders means a lot for us. We really want to win this.
And welcome back. We're getting ready to jump into the second half. 9-6, the scoreline. Navi in the lead. Brandon, you feel like that's enough for them to close this one out?
I think like it potentially should be, but given the landscape of the game, this was 8-2 at one stage. You got to really praise the mental resolve of 9 Pandas to build their way back in. They're giving themselves such a solid foundation to now work on the CT side, and I've seen how strong it can be, so I'm excited. I think it's going to be a very close game, and that's a lot considering I thought it was going to be a little bit of a whitewash.
Well, it definitely looked like it at a point, as you mentioned, 8-2, but definitely in the rearview mirror now. Pacing towards mid for Navi. Everyone taking space through here. Letty looking for contact onto Victoria. Spots her out. She's looking between a few angles. Fatal's in a cheeky little spot. And Joker's been boosted up, and you can see she really wanted to go through there. In fact, she's just going to break the vent. Walking on through. Surely been heard, and Shu starts to come on back to see what Angelica's up to. And well, Angelica's got a headshot. That's what she's been waiting to send your way. Victoria repositioning, and now she's the only one on the side spotted out. Hanka trying to push her down. Letty's just jumping around in circles, pulling away the crosshair, making it easy for Hanka. Elizabeth and Taddy, it's anything but easy for them. Angelica spots them out, falling back for a better angle, and she can just keep playing with them. So many players here. There is a kit on Elizabeth, but they need to find some headshots soon. At the moment, nothing coming their way. Letty's tucked on through, waiting for the jump over, but Angelica and Hanka combine for the final 2.
Yeah, nicely done from Angelica. The entry to even that little bit of discipline right at the very end. The only way 9 Pandas have got a chance in that retake is if you give them one-on-one gunfights. And whilst Angelica did give them a little bit of a shoulder, she did fall all the way back. Was kind of reined in, and that's good because I know how aggressive, and you know especially, Lucy, how aggressive Angelica can be, and there's times where she kind of overextends a little bit too much and gets caught off guard. It's good to see that in her game.
The way you said that was like as if she's in like, you know, coming to my house and like threatening me.
No, well, the thing is, I said me, and I was like, wait, no, you also know as well. I don't know why I didn't say
it was
us.
like I had like a personal like vendetta with Angelica.
No.
Beat me up at LAN.
She might.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, maybe. I certainly wouldn't count it out. Not that there's a reason. Oh yeah, she's taking the silencer off. Okay, she's putting it back on. Just playing with us. It's just the USBs. Literally, just USBs. It's not even a flashbang here. And they're on the wrong side, so... What can you say, Brandon? It's the 11th round. I'm going to say it right now. It might be a bit of a controversial call.
No, I don't think it is.
I think Navi have won this one. Well, you know, some people might argue.
Yeah.
There's always someone.
This is... wow, 11. No way.
That's 4K.
Really solid stuff. Yeah, it was. It was good.
That was so tough to deal with all those USP players.
Especially with no utility.
Yeah, but good shooting, nonetheless. She's on 20 kills, by the way. 20 for 9. It's kind of a shame that Galil's got all these kills, actually.
Yeah, that is the one. I guess if you want to put like a blemish on that round for Navi, the SMGs could have made them more money.
Actually, did they have any SMGs? I'm not sure.
No.
No retrospect. I just assumed there was one in the mix, but you know what Assume does? Victoria taking a bit of damage onto, well, putting a bit of damage onto Lena. Spam back through does actually do a fair bit of damage onto Elizabeth. So that's okay. Shield's very light for the CT side. They have just flashbangs left at this stage of the game. It's still 1 minute and 20 on the clock.
Yeah, that's rough. Not just saying next one name's B-Dog. Navi now looking to get a little bit aggressive towards the B apartments. Deep flash from Viku would push Tati off the angle if she was there, but instead she's just tucked on into the corner. And look what that's done, by the way. One flash has caused 3 rotations.
Yeah, you kind of feel like you have to do this when you don't have the utility. Like, you need to have some sort of response, and that flashbang's a good use of it. Tati now can take some space. It all spots out Angelica. An awkward fight for both parties. No one finding real purchase there, but Angelica does come out a little worse for wear. And meanwhile, Victoria's taking a lot of space. She's pushed all the way in towards ramp. This is a great info play. Although the issue is now, with Fatal going down, there's a big part of the map that's completely open, and Navi, I think they have the read on it.
Also, Hanka went through Palace, not ramp, so she's going to walk out, potentially call this clear. Now, Victoria can be a thorn in the side of Na'Vi, but if these players get caught out in transition, just like Elizabeth does on towards Viku, then that's where it can get a little bit dangerous. Angelica is even holding for that potential.
Yeah, I feel like this is where we really see Angelica shine on the T sides. Her and Hanka, a dangerous duo. I don't know how VQ wins that.
No, I don't.
Had it dead to rights. But hey, this is painful for 9 Pandas. They're losing all of their rifles. Tati, this is a bit of an unconventional saving spot, so it is going to actually let her get 1 kill and even a follow-up. So she gets to keep her AK. There's not going to be a lot into the next round for 9 Pandas, though. So really, I wouldn't expect a full buy around it.
You can get pistols. You're on 4-stage loss bonus. So you could probably invest maybe half armor, 5/7s, maybe throw a couple of deagles into the mix to make it somewhat contestable. But you're right, the scary thing about this is if 9 Pandas lose this follow-up round, you're then fighting back from 13-6, which feels a lot less comfy than it did, well, probably like 2 minutes ago.
Straight A execution out the gate. Game plan very clear for NAVI. 2 plays out Palace. The rest is going to be hitting on through, knowing that there's not going to be much here for 9 Pandas to work with. The classic default, a tiny gap that Taddy can work with her AK. Has flames as well that she can throw through. And oh, it looks like a boost being assembled. That's pretty fun. Not going to spot anybody out though, unfortunately. Let's see how desperately she's looking for it. That was their way in. And now Angelica taking her down means that any chance for 9 Pandas is gone. Fatal does get 1 kill with the PT-50. Maybe a chance for more, but no. Letty makes sure that's not so. NAVI continue their T-side run.
Yeah, here we go. Victoria can bring out the AWP instantaneously. Tassie could even buy another one. Maybe get the double AWPs move in. The 9 Pandas, no, instead it's just going to be full rifles. Shu on the A4, only player. Everyone else is on the A1S. Cool little detail.
Yeah, I feel like A1S is a lot better in this map as well because of the long range.
Yeah.
Unless you're the B anchor. I suppose any anchor. Shu looks like she might be getting curious. No, she's just pushed out. Victoria in a good position here. Flashed off though, has to fall back. And that leaves Shu completely exposed. The comms maybe not quite quick enough there. Fatal's able to get one back. The smoke was towards Connector, not towards Stairs and Jungle. That trades fast from VQ. Lena on the lurk in mid. Oh, it's an awkward fight for her. Elizabeth wins it out. Taddy caught, throwing the utility though. That's a nice trade from Letty. Able to find that kill. A little bit of a funky spray. Elizabeth and Victoria, really, do you want to give this a look? And you've just got these guns out. Surely not now with Victoria falling. Elizabeth even taking a few bullets through the smoke. It's a painful round to lose. Your guns come out. The score line of 14 looming. And you just get absolutely collapsed on the A side.
Yeah, we're seeing the change of pace right now. NAVI are being very aggressive in how they want to go into the site. I mean, you can tell that 9 Pandas just weren't ready for it. Falling at the end there is worst case scenario for Elizabeth. Money running really thin. But yeah, Shu completely caught off guard. The fact that Victoria had to back off, just so overwhelming. Here's your timeout.
Yeah, here it is. When you've about to concede 15. Not ideal. I tell you what, Letty has been such a great addition to this team. I was a little apprehensive, I got to admit, initially when the change came through, just because it didn't feel like they needed to. They just got into a grand final, you know, lost to Enigma Galaxy. Obviously, that's been their bane, but this is a team that, you know, they want to elevate to the next height. And it feels like Letty has been a great addition in that respect. It really feels like she shines, particularly on Mirage, as we're seeing here.
Yeah, this is her best map by far. And I agree. I was a little bit skeptical as well because it's actually meant a role change for Hanker. Because if you think NAVI Javelins, their best map is Nuke, well, obviously we won't see that today. It was always Danu that was lurking lobby and it was Hanker getting quite aggressive. Now we get to see the other way around. Letty is taking Hanker's roles on Nuke and Hanker's playing a much more supportive style. Has taken a little bit of time to adjust. Feet spotted for Hanker.
Oh. Feet for free. Everyone's favorite. Will Shu have to pay the blood price? Find out in a moment. How long what do you reckon you do here if you're Hanker? Okay, you've called over support. This is what you do. This is not what I would do, but it's what you should do. The flash comes through. Hanker drops. Easiest kill of her life. That is beautiful. I loved every second of that.
Yep. Feet and kill for free.
Yeah, oh, and another one.
No way.
Victoria's all the way back a ticket. Another flash. Oh. This is the Hanker and VQ show. Letty wants to get involved. And that's 15. This is just domination from NAVI. Looking like one of the best teams in the world. Putting 9 Pandas down on Mirage.
Yeah, this is one-way traffic. tried to paint a little bit of a picture. Always knew it was going to be difficult on the CT side for the Pandas, but I cannot believe in which the manner of these rounds are taking place. It's so dominant. It's not like the last half where 9 Pandas were doing quite a lot of damage to NAVI Javelins when NAVI Javelins are winning the round. It is literally just the T side are killing the CTs over and over and over again.
Yes, that's what I was concerned about, because the T side looked so good from NAVI on Mirage against 9 Pandas before. And, well, no exception here. Might even go flawless. Lena's found the opener. Tati, okay, this is a position that can do a lot. She dodges the flash, ready for the fight onto the first. Oh my God, they were about to swing on through, and well, as the smoke fades, Angelica's actually able to get that trade. That was so messy. And somehow Na'Vi actually come out of that, I guess, ahead, taking down the Bianca. And that's freed up Letty. She's taken space. Look at this. Seeing so much. Nobody at all here. And she's actually managed to avoid Shu, who has walked all the way back around. So Letty has found this gap, and it's going to allow her to walk right into the back of the B bomb site. Okay, she's been spotted. Shu just sees her at the very tail end, but that is going to cause a bit of movement. Letty might look back. Oh, she does. Okay, but Shu is ready for it. A little bit of damage done, and at the very least, that's information on Shu's whereabouts, and that means they can suspect that A is open. Smoke comes on down. Elizabeth has no line of sight, but a good bit of damage done. There's a couple of low players here. Pandas can certainly pull this one off.
Look at this space, though, being taken by Na'Vi in towards jungle. It's not just one player as well, it's 2. And this is where it starts to get a little bit dangerous. Because as you're fighting in, you got to clear all of these angles. Angelica's revealed herself, but Lena hasn't. And Viku could just take this very deep line. It's only Victoria remaining with the scout. A lovely headshot. Can she find any more? Potentially. But no, Lena swings in from jungle. 16-6. NAVI Javelins take 9 Pandas map pick.
Yeah, what a domination on Mirage, and particularly that T side. They did not drop a round. 7 in a row. And honestly, none of them really looked that close. It was pretty convincing. It really felt like Na'Vi were in cruise control. All the stars popping off. VQ ended on, what, 27 for 9 or something absolutely outrageous. She was completely in her element on a map that is obviously a map built for AWPers, it feels, and she certainly showed why.
Got to give a huge shout out. We did it already, but to Letty, because her impact was really felt, especially on this T side, right? In that final round, takes all of the space. It's her initiative, and it's also the mid-round call-in of Na'Vi. Well, look, go and lurk through towards B. If you find kills, that's perfect. It's only going to sell the idea even further. All we need is Shu to rotate, and then we've got the bomb site for free. And that's exactly what happens. They push beyond the site, and there's no chance for 9 Pandas to try and claw their way back.
Yeah, beautifully put together, Mirage, particularly that T side. Exciting stuff for Na'Vi. They take the first map in this best of 3. We've got a couple of more maps coming up, maybe just one. We'll see. But after this map, we have to go to the studio to break it down. So don't go anywhere. Ads coming through, then the gang.
Every day, it feels like there is a new crisis. Families displaced by violent earthquakes and wars. Warm hearts sleeping under cold blankets of stars. Lives destroyed and washed away. Families fleeing into the unknown. But look closer. See the hope everywhere. See the ones running towards disasters to help. Compassion exists all around the world. Kindness is healing wounds, bringing hope for a brighter tomorrow. Look closer and see the many families like Layla's who've lived through unimaginable hardships and yet haven't given up. Please don't give up on those forced to flee. Donate now.
Progress is a race that has no end. After every finish line, another challenge awaits. How can we continue to push innovation in a sport at the forefront of technology? This is how. Discover how Aramco and the Aston Martin Formula One team aim to meet Formula One's sustainable fuel targets. Aramco, powered by How.
Welcome back to the studio. The semi-final is well and truly underway, and NAVI claim the lead in spectacular fashion, I have to say. Steph, 9 Pandas are on the back foot now. So is it time to throw the kitchen sink at NAVI? I mean, what can they do?
It was a little bit difficult. I think the game, we all expected to be a lot closer. Kind of synonym of this tournament so far, by the way, which every game we think is going to go into overtime, and it has not panned out. But if you take a look at that scoreboard, you can see how dominant 3 players on NAVI were, and the rest of the team didn't really have to do much. So it definitely was a struggle. Like, 9 Pandas didn't win a single round on their CT side. They never were able to get into the economy in the second half.
They just couldn't find that groove. Sapphire, I mean, you said that we haven't seen a map 3 yet here at Gamers Without Borders. After seeing map 1, are you still backing that? Could we see it? Or, you know, is it all going to depend on what happens on Ancient, right?
Yeah, do we get take backsies or whatever we call it? Because I might be ready to take that one back. This was a map they needed. This was obviously 9 Pandas' pick. They were starting on T side, whereas NAVI, like, we know that NAVI is just really, really good on T side. So 9 Pandas needed to start off strong. They had some late round heroics. They changed the pace a bit, but it just wasn't enough. Like, NAVI just had so many different layers to their defense. There was always an answer every time 9 Pandas seems like they were making progress into sight. NAVI had a really smart and quick rotation. We saw some really nice pacing and trading and layering in connector there. So it just wasn't enough. And then as soon as we saw NAVI get to T side, everything just went so well for them. This is where Angelica is just an absolute star, like, very confident. And then, as Lucy pointed out too, like, Letty has slotted into this team really well. Only has been on the roster for a month now, but looks like they have far more practice together than just a month based on the rotations, how comfortable she was on that T side.
I mean, like B-Dog said, during map 1, as we approached into the second half, this was just one-way traffic. I mean, Steph, we can't come out of map 1 and not talk about Viku's performance. I mean, that was just pretty astonishing, let's be honest.
Yeah, we have to talk about Viku. She started most of the round 5 versus 4. And I mean, you're playing Counter-Strike. Every flash, every utility, every dollars matter. And she was just able to pick a player a few seconds in the round, sometimes through smokes, sometimes through, sometimes by her movements and whatnot. But on the other hand, if you take a look at Victoria, she's supposed to do the same in a way with Nine Pandas Fearless. And unfortunately for her, today was not her day, or at least in the first map, because she was kind of the opposite. You know, she was one of the lowest performer on Nine Panda in map number 1. And if they want to beat NAVI, she's going to have to do just as good, if not better than VQ. We can't have a wild VQ running around if you want to beat NAVI.
A wild VQ, that's what we like to hear. If she can continue this kind of performance, this is going to be a very quick match indeed. Now, as we saw for ourselves just then, that highlight package was created by the production team here, and I've got to give a shout out to them because they do this on the fly, and that highlight package was absolutely chef's kiss. So, no one seems to really particularly be dragging their heels in map 1 from Nine Pandas. I feel like they're just simply being outplayed. Is that a fair assessment to say, Sapphire? I don't think anyone's played badly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, like, I thought Taddy had some nice rounds too. I don't think we've talked about Taddy a ton this tournament, and she played well. She was winning a lot of her opening duels. I believe she was 4-1 on opening duels, so that's good, giving her team an early advantage a few rounds. The rest of the players, like, they had some good moments, but it was just like generally being outplayed. It seemed like generally like NAVI was just more prepared on that map.
Well, it was an interesting map for sure, and map 2 is inbound very, very shortly, and we're going to be heading over to Ancient. So I have a question that I would like to pose for the casters. In terms of comparison to the previous map, what differences can we expect in style, in pace, maybe even in terms of aggression? Because that is what it seems Nine Pandas need to come out of this second map with a dub. So casters, we're going to hand it over to you. Lucy and B-Dog, take it away.
Well, I don't know what Nine Pandas is going to show us here. It's a very tall order. Ancient is a really cool map coming in from NAVI. It's a map that they don't pick a lot because often they'll get nuke coming through. So, you know, they don't need to pick it. But it's one that they've got a very flexible map pool. They've only lost Ancient once, to my knowledge, and that was like about a year ago. So, you know, I'm not expecting them to stumble here. But Nine Pandas, they did dominate G2 recently on this map. It was a 16-2 absolute whitewash. So there's a chance for them.
Yeah, that was on CT side as well. I was casting that one, and it was basically just Nine Pandas getting really aggressive into the face, punishing G2 on these timings. But I feel like you can't really do that against NAVI. And one player that I feel like we've kind of touched upon it with the analyst desk, but will now shine here on Ancient T side is going to be Angelica. Yes. She is going to take every single fight imaginable. She's probably going to come out very successful because that's just kind of the player that she is. Her playstyle is very much run and gun, find a lot of space for her team. And I think that's going to be a little bit difficult for Nine Pandas to try and contend with. Victoria needs to step up, as we've already mentioned, but also I want to look towards Elizabeth. I think Elizabeth is very good on this map, and I feel like if she can kind of elevate her game, fire on all cylinders, then it could be a little bit trickier for NAVI.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're spot on about Angelica. I think 3 of the 4 times that they've played it this year, Angelica's been top of the leaderboard with some absurd rating. Like, we're talking above 1.5 every single time. The only time she was bested was when VQ had a huge pop-off. So there's just so much to go here for NAVI that it feels like it should be a pretty comfortable run. And I mean, if Nine Pandas are able to pull it off in that crazy world where they can make it happen, Anubis is a pretty good map for them. You know, I think if it goes to 3, we have a very exciting matchup, but it felt like it really relied on that Mirage, Brandon. I really struggled to paint the picture of how Nine Pandas make Ancient work.
Yeah, I feel like they needed Mirage. That's why I was kind of a little bit confused coming into the veto. I thought it should be swapped the other way. If Nine Pandas pick in towards Anubis, I think they've got a much better shot because we know how capable NAVI are on Mirage, but they've been shown to bleed. We've already seen kind of Anubis performances from NAVI Javelins just kind of fall by the wayside. They kind of get lost a little bit in the game, and that is an element of the new map, but it's also just the style that Nine Pandas play, I think really fits Anubis. But anyway, we're not there. We're here on Ancient instead. And I'm really excited to see how it will just transpire. I want to know how the CT AWP is going to be utilized for Nine Pandas, because the obvious answer would be, okay, well, let's just put Victoria all the way over on B. She can just hold the longest angles in the game and try and get a little bit of maneuverability and a little bit of flexibility. But as we saw from NAVI Javelins on the CT side of Mirage, Viku's been so dynamic, going for so many variations in her AWP kills, finding those openings. I feel like Victoria needs to do the same.
Yeah, and I think Victoria's one to note on, but also a player that you mentioned during Mirage that went absent last time these two teams matched up, has gone absent here as well, is Shu. I feel like, you know, we kind of hyped her up during that first map in terms of a very consistent piece for them, very solid rifler. And to me, it feels like Ancient often is a bit more reliant on those aggressive riflers. And so again, I'm looking towards her and Fatal to really try and elevate 9Pandas here on both sides of the server, because it was all a little bit missing, particularly that CT side of Mirage.
And they're going to start on the CT side, you'd presume, right? Because it's their choice of which side to start on. So, I don't know. I feel like if you're 9Pandas, maybe you want to start on the T side, because CT looks a little bit shaky on the defense of Mirage. Now you're going to go into that again. It's kind of just a little bit of a mental slump, right? It's like, oh, we just got battered on the defense, and now we've got to play a whole half of it.
Well, Ancient, it is a map that's becoming a little bit more balanced. We've definitely seen some strong T sides coming out since all the changes to the CT spawn, and a few other bits and pieces have now made it a bit more favorable for the T side. So we'll see what NAVI can bring us, whether they can continue that momentum from Mirage, or whether 9Pandas will show a little bit about what has made them a fearless team. We'll see. Kicking off the pistol.
Instant smoke as well, thrown out by NAVI. Denies Shu any information right now. There is a pretty decent stack up, though, for 9Pandas on B. There's 4 players ready and waiting. And if you're going towards Cave, which at the moment NAVI definitely could be heading that way, that's where it gets spicy. But I like this. You sent your 2 players out towards Donut and A, trying to get a little bit of recon. Shu playing all the way far back. That's a fantastic headshot, but are you ready for VQ?
No is the answer to that. Gets brought down low immediately. Look at the scramble from 9Pandas out the gate. It is the right read. Viku tries to get involved, knowing that she's got this forward position and can do a lot of damage here. Overwhelmed by the Pandas. Now it's a player advantage. Put back into the 3-on-3. That smoke comes down, and a beautiful time as well. There is a smoke and flash on the CT side. They're going to make the use of that flash to get into the site. Taddy leading the charge with those dual Berettas. Angelica finds another, and they need to get the smoke down, but maybe they can just find the kills. Letty getting Victoria, though, means it's all onto Taddy now, and she's split between 2 different angles. Looks for the first fight onto Letty, finds that pretty cleanly. Picks up that smoke as well, but time is going to be an issue. No kit on her. Taps the bomb, wanting to force Lena forward, and Lena is going to run through this, but even with Taddy getting the kill, there simply is just no time for 9Pandas. So they might fail all of NAVI, but they don't get the round. And Taddy goes down as she tries to escape.
I feel like in the middle of that retake, there's a little bit of comms issues, because Tati comes straight out of Temple and she sees Letty tucked in towards CT, but Victoria is so loud and she runs through the smoke and gets blindsided. It's a sucker punch from Letty, and I don't know, to me, I feel like that should have been communicated. Nice shots from Tati on the cleanup, but it all amounts to absolutely nothing apart from economic damage. But it kind of goes both ways. It's just, yet again, USPs, P250s trying to contend with Mac 10s, which now can farm money.
This is a cool little eco around there in terms of how 9Pandas is setting this up. The flash from A side rather than over from B towards mid, so it's a little bit harder to dodge it. You're not expecting one from this side. She decides not to throw it. I think they just got no contact, so they didn't want to waste the flash, and they are able to overwhelm Letty. Lena now, with that Mac 10, can keep them at bay. Joker takes the space, and this one should be pretty comfortable for NAVI. Rotations start to come on over. Still are these flashbangs that can set up some kills, but not if Hangasach is taking players down. Tapping away, doing a lot of damage here. The Galil with just enough bullets. And even swapping to the Glock. She doesn't want to slow down at all. And why would you when you're hitting shots like that?
Yeah, Taddy is out of there. Wants to hold on to the AK. But a clean start for NAVI, and this is the danger that we kind of posed coming into Ancient. I felt like 9Pandas needs to get out of the starting blocks really early. Fortunately, they'll be able to do so with this next buy coming in, but I I don't want to put a lot of gravitas on the situation because we've seen them build back in, especially in first halves, but I'd actually put like a fairly decent amount of emphasis on this. I feel like 9Pandas Fearless need to get their kind of score etched onto the middle of the screen quite early on here to give them a little bit of belief and confidence.
Yeah, you don't want a repeat of the Mirage CT side where they could never find a way into it. At least with the AK held on over, which is a nice little pickup here on that eco. It'll save them a little bit of cash into this next round. I don't think we'll have the AWP out. Didn't look like there was enough to get that one out. No, indeed, it is just going to be the rifles. A little bit less on the utility, and it's pace from Na'Vi going in fast. Taddy, it's going to throw over the HE. Elizabeth gets one just through spam, and Taddy has now arrived. Gets one kill. Victoria actually found the other. Letty goes on down. Viku is suddenly alone. This hold him towards B was fantastic. Everything works out for 9Pandas.
Yeah, really good. Na'Vi trying to change the pace. It's technically they're a little bit of a bonus round. You got the SMGs and the Galils in play. So you want to just try and run up against the full gun round of 9Pandas. And it doesn't quite work out. There's a key fight on long where two Na'Vi players are facing in over towards Tati, and it feels like they definitely should have got the kill a lot cleaner than they did. In actual fact, they didn't get it right until the very end. You see it on the flyover. Very good response. That's what we needed.
Yeah, keeping 4 alive as well when you just got the guns out is perfect. It means that they can invest the AWP in as that 5th weapon. Victoria can get that one out early, and she makes it strike. She had the spawn towards A, gets very aggressive, had the supportive shoot. And this is what we didn't see on Mirage. We didn't see these proactive AWP plays on the CT side because she never really got to use one. Limited by her team falling apart early on in the rounds. Now, she's asked to push forward. Letty is here. How far does Victoria clear here? Oh, quick flick from Victoria. You can see she was getting ready for the no-scope there, but Angelica a little bit faster. Does get that trade, but Taddy's dropped the bomb. And again, Na'Vi, this one looking a bit disjointed, starting to fall apart.
Yeah, there we go. That's the CT aggression that undid G2 quite drastically. And it's starting to unweave some of the protocols for Na'Vi. It does look a little bit disjointed, as you mentioned, because, well, the players just can't transition in time. Fatal's even ahead of this smoke. The deep push from Tati secures the bomb. For Angelica, it's going to be 20 seconds or thereabouts to save it.
Yeah, she can grab the AWP. That's what she's off to get now for Viku. She can hang out here. It is still here. She spots it on out. And she might be allowed to pick it up. In fact, if she hangs here, she'll be expecting someone from the CT side to come and collect it. And that's where she can even get an extra kill. So this is perfect for Angelica. She can find that one, get herself the AWP, and at least makes it a little bit costly for 9Pandas. They can still get one out. Elizabeth has enough money to do it. So I expect she will. Yeah. But it does keep them honest.
I don't know about this investment coming in for Na'Vi. You're on double stage loss bonus now, which typically is the break point. Because if you save about $2,000 a player, you'd be able to invest into the next. But we saw just before the replays went live that Hanker invested in. Everyone else has kind of kept their money a little bit. And Joker actually takes the AWP and burns alive, goes 1 for 1.
Yeah, I think that's good, though. You can get that rifle potentially onto Hanker. Viku picks up the AWP, and you've still got a round cooking here. Maybe not. Taddy's on the retrieval mission. Doesn't want to allow that one to get into enemy hands. Extracts it. So it's all going to be on this AWP. It opened up the round. What further can it do? Oh, Fatal spots out Hanker. Now as she repositions, Viku's desperately waiting for her to swing around, but Fatal never reveals herself. And oh, when she does, it is a beautiful couple of taps of the USP to take down Viku. Well held from Fatal in Donut.
And now they've got double AWP as well. So that's quite clever. You can now bring that one out, and you can have one posting quite deep. It normally facilitates the rifles to kind of rotate over to the other bomb site without too much trouble. you can play some very safe lines. So Shu's going to be here, just holding A. This will be her bomb site, pretty much for the foreseeable. Fatal might have a little bit of a look in, though, because this is aggression up towards mid.
Hey, do you want to test out Fatal, who went huge here last round? Well, she does the same again. Couldn't quite get the third, and Joker does deal with her. Now Elizabeth starts to come on through, looking to see if she sees a player. Viku's heard this. Doesn't hear the footsteps from Elizabeth walking forward, but oh, the timing, not great. Elizabeth starts to turn. And Angelica tucked in towards the donut, gonna be taken down by her as well. Hanko with just Glock in hand, can't get anything done. So this is looking good for the 9 Pandas so far. They have donut on lock.
Yeah, really nice stuff. Fantastic for 9 Pandas. Gonna be going up against the full buy, especially with Viku on the AWP. I think this is actually the first time in this half we're going to get all the AKs out for NAVI Javelins as well as the AWP. So that poses a little bit of a scary threat. And hello, what's this?
That's a cool one. Where's it going?
Fast donut?
Oh yeah, it's just a fast donut. It's like me when I don't know.
What?
Viku first. Gets the kill on the shoot. That secondary AWP doesn't get a chance. And oh, Fatal, she does. Viku's out in the open. She's able to get across, and now she can get up towards Temple. Oh, the collateral doesn't get the second kill, but look at the damage she's done. They lined up for her, bowls him on down, and she's still here looking for Victoria. And well, it's Letty on the lurk that actually finds the kill. Angelica spots out Taddy, maybe, question mark.
Calmed it.
Definitely now. Taddy's out of there.
That's sweet. And that fast donut smoke actually facilitated the entire
You knew that Taddy was here.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Sounded like an upset parent then.
Yeah. Come on. But no, that fast donut smoke actually facilitated that peak in the first place because Na'Vi put so much pressure over there just by the pacing of the utility. The 9 Pandas weren't ready. Flashbang was also perfect to allow Viku that opener.
Well, to bounce back after losing a slew of rounds. 2 9 Pandas with the guns. That's the final kill there. Elizabeth going down at the end. Hanka on a very nice little hunt to find those 2. And that's costly. Does mean if Na'Vi convert this one, they won't be feeling comfy. Na'Vi taking space in towards mid. 9 Pandas sitting behind this smoke. It was a bit of a missed one. Or it's one to play. No, yeah, it is a missed one by the T side. You can see the coloration on your screen. Big smokes go awry, and that sets up 9 Pandas for an opener.
Oh, good spam. Either caught off guard. That's more information towards Elizabeth. Na'Vi, it looks like they want to just bide their time, try and retake middle, now with the proper util set. And Shu, yet again, is potentially the only defender here. Lena, that is not okay.
Yeah, that one's rough if you're Elizabeth, and this smoke is actually given Angelica space to work with. But Taddy, she had the space as well. Look at Hanka. She just runs around the corner onto Victoria, and Lena catches Taddy. I think she might have quick switched there. A little bit of a panic moment. Ooh, almost a panic. Look at this angle from Hanka, though. Fantastic onto Shu. Alina deals with Fatal eventually. A quick series of frags, which were all, in their own different ways, incredibly chaotic and crazy.
Yeah, that was weird because by design, that's not normally a NAVI Javelins round. That is complete chaos. You've got to fight in towards red, you've got to fight in towards donut later on, Lena with the spam through the wall, and this all opens up because of a missed red smoke. It's pandemonium, but not, you know, good for 9 Pandas. Pandemonium.
What noise does a panda make?
I don't know. I only know.
What's your best estimation of what a panda would make?
Raw.
What? That's your best estimation of a panda?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, the Pandas have what eliminated this round. They found a kill. A lot of damage on the two players. All right, that's even more damage. This is getting costly. Lena wants to protect this AWP, but I don't know what her chances are. Yeah, she has to get out, so Elizabeth can pick this one up, and I think those flames are going to be her cue to leave. She knows that there's space now that she can escape. Fatal, she's not going anywhere. This is insane. They're finding kills everywhere here with these pistols. And I think these two remaining Navi players, I mean, one of them's going down. Hanker, I don't think she gets away from this. Oh, they might all go down now. Elizabeth hold on to the AWP. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Oh my God, Lena, 1 HP.
That's sick. Okay. Nice round from 9 Pandas. That's a lot of economic damage. Exactly what you want. You see the bank balance is starting to wear thin for Na'Vi. These rounds are very close. Something that we saw on the first half of last map. Check out this shot. Oh.
Yeah, Fail's been stepping up in a huge way. Top of leaderboard at the moment for the Pandas, and in fact, for everybody. She's the frag leader. Sitting behind a smoke in mid, deploys her own, which is a bit of a funky one. I don't think that went where she wanted it to go. I think it bounced funny, and yeah, she's going to realize that immediately. It was meant to be space for her. It was meant to land in the middle of the stairs so that she could use it as a one-way. And as she flashes on through, she finds out that's not the case. And VQ, well, she spotted a gun barrel. Look at this. She just wants to get on close, use it like a shotgun. There it is. Even quick switches to the M4, but actually not able to connect that shot. Taddy's now got her hands on the AWP. But Lena, she was there the whole time, waiting for that. And now Shu is in a 1v3.
These are the most chaotic rounds I've ever seen out of Na'Vi. I honestly have never seen anything like it from their team. But it is working. They're thriving in the chaos right now. That's going to be 6 on the board. Another no-scope. Sure, why not? Just for good measure. Shu eliminated.
Yeah, why not? Who needs a scope? Not anyone on Na'Vi, apparently. We get our first tactical from 9 Pandas. They actually don't have an investment in this round, so likely talking about the follow-up. Oh, I say they don't have an investment. They've opted to force onto Fatal, and yeah, they're just straight up investing into this. Okay, so Victoria's got enough for the AWP. I'm gonna say I don't love it. Do you love it?
No, not really.
No wearing it?
Like it's... No. Not mile. 1 Deagle, 2 MP9s. Alongside an M4 and an AWP, it feels a little bit difficult, I'm going to be honest. I mean, if it works, that's fine. I want to be proved wrong, but I think this buy is incredibly damaging to the future of 9 Pandas if they lose.
In general, or this map?
This map.
All right, shoot. With that M4, getting up close. Now, the MP9s, if you can get them into these close angles, are very potent. Elbow a position where you can make them work. But I'm really wanting to keep an eye on where Victoria is moving about. She's making her way over towards B. Taddy is going to be hearing a lot of this going on in towards Jaguar. Nice HE, actually, onto Angelica. Makes these MP9s a lot more damaging. And they're looking pretty keen to hit onto this B bomb site. There are only 2 defenders here at the moment. One has the MP9, but the AWP is also here. Hanko just walks straight through. That's an easy kill for her. Victoria's not able to get involved. Shu did find that lurk in mid. Oh, and that's a nice spam through from Fatal. Suddenly this gets interesting.
Yeah, keep your eye on the flank as well, Elizabeth. Being wardened by Hanker at the moment, but it all comes down to time, and Angelica slides in towards Cave. Elizabeth is holding for this exact line, and patience is rewarded. Meanwhile, VQ has found another, so it does go into this 2 versus 2 now. Oh, VQ misses a shot. Worrying here. Is there a kit? There is. Fatal's got a kit here.
Oh, she's just going to ninja it. Oh, we knew it would happen. We knew it would happen. The ninja defuse from 9 Pandas. It comes on through. It's Fatal to get it done. The kit from that forced buy set her up. VQ misses that shot and Fatal has her locked in. And Angelica, it's a decision you have to make there. Is it the fake, right? She goes for the spam, hoping it will connect. Doesn't quite come on through. Hopes that it's just not a committal to the defuse, but it was, because of course it is. 9 Pandas don't fake.
We've had a no-scope as well. That's the checklist complete. Viku, oh, another missed shot. Fatal takes full advantage of it. Top of the board right now for the CT side. 6 rounds plays 5. I think 6 feels pretty decent already on the T side. Anything more is a bonus, in my opinion. Especially with how good Navi are on the defense. Fatal wants blood, but Letty just trades her out.
Letty's been great on finding these timings in mid on their rotations. Now Lena's going to catch the timing. That flashbang wasn't great from Taddy, but at least she gets that kill in response, so makes up for it. And Letty's low. Shu's able to lock that one in with ease. Hanka should be aware that this is a lightly defended side at the moment. If she can find this kill cleanly onto Taddy, that sets her up to pull off this 1v3. The rotations are very far away, and she has a lot of time to work with. Oh, this is great. She's caught the timing. Taddy is going down easily. No issue here. Okay, yeah. Thought for a second she was considering the knife, but a bit of trigger discipline. Just waiting to see if she can catch out another player. Bomb goes down, and Shu has made a lot of noise. Hanka spots her on the cross. She knows that if she can isolate this first fight, it sets her up well for the follow-up. Oh, but not quite ready for Victoria, but neither's Victoria. Misses the shot. Hanka flies around the corner, and now it's a 1v1. The bomb's planted for her. Shu walks on through just below her crosshair and denies the clutch.
My goodness me, though. Hanko trying to make it work. Even going in towards cave there, it is planted for her. So no ninja in today, but not needed. Shu hits the headshot when it matters most. That's the scoreline level, but what a fantastic attempt from Hanka.
Bomb plant will actually allow them to get the buyout as well. They would have been on probably just pistols otherwise. Yeah, insane from Hanka to be able to make that look doable. That was the moment I got a little stressed.
Yeah.
No, this was the other moment I got stressed.
The whole clutch was stressful.
Yeah, it was a very stressful clutch to watch, but you know, that's the best clutches are stressful, my opinion. Keeps you interested the whole time. The twists and turns. Viku flashes herself in for the peek. Taddy's now locked into this corner. She's going to be jump peeking the angle. Viku now sounds off her AWP, and the rest of the team starts to accelerate. They know where Taddy is, and that flashbang blinds Lena fully. Elizabeth tucked in behind. There's a lot of players here, and Angelka, she is able to find one. Hanka with the response. Puts into the 3-on-3, and look at Letty. In fact, look at Shu. Look at everybody. Oh, that HE is beautiful. Shu dunks down onto Letty. Now she knows that players are above her. The flames come on through. Viku and Hanka are pinned now back into going towards B. Taddy is here, falls on back, wants to keep that advantage with the Pandas. Teammates now start to come on over. Victoria's at an awkward angle. Okay, Viku has her locked in. That angle, Victoria was not aware that she was that exposed. Now Hanka swings. Viku gets that trade. The 1v1 again commences, but Viku's last info on Shu was in towards mid. Oh, what a shot from Shu. Always finds these angles, and they're always perfect shots.
This half of Ancient is just so bizarre. I'm going to be honest. Like, I've never seen so much chaos go down in a round, and there's now, I think it's like 4 rounds in a row where I have no idea which way it's going at any given moment. I don't think the players realize on the server either. Look at all of these trades coming out early, but you got the aggression through towards A main that allows Letty to fall in towards mid. But that breaks the economy. That's most important. 9 Pandas should be a guaranteed 8th here. Victoria has got the support from Shu. Not that she even really needs it. Lena, nice shot. But here we go. Famous to clean up the rest. Never mind. It's the M4 stealing all of the kills.
Yeah, Victoria gets a couple. And the site is on lock. 8 now for 9 Pandas. NAVI looking to get their 7th in this final round of the half, but already a much more convincing game from 9 Pandas here. This was not their map pick either. Pick of NAVI. 9 Pandas, not a map they've really put any focus on. So to see them looking so strong on the CT side is very impressive. Angelica very pacey, but Fatal able to take her down. Look at this aggression in mid. It's perfect from 9 Pandas. The flashbangs, the trades, the spacing, everything played to perfection, but not quite that. Elizabeth drops on down and oh my God, Lena's found Fatal. Suddenly, things change. A head spotted. And what looked like a fantastic advantage falls now into a one-on-one. Victoria knew that the bomb was dropped there and knows that she has this timing, but Hank has managed to avoid her. A 1v1, definitely a lot more doable than the 1v3 she found herself in before. And Victoria went for the gamble, hoping it would be A. Bomb plant's actually faked out. And now the penny drops. A long rotation from Victoria. She has a kit, but AWP in the 1v1 and Hanka with all of the information at the moment.
I actually really like this position from Hanka. While she's exposed to so many angles, she knows she's up against the AWP, but wide swings. Just some talking about it. Incendiary can now go over, and Victoria can isolate. That's a fantastic way to win out the half. There's more than enough time on the clock to get that locked in. 9 Pandas with 9.
Yeah, that clutch is a little bit crazy. I can't believe Victoria pulls that off. It felt like Hanka didn't even get to fire off a bullet there. Just well played. 9-6, a very comfortable lead. Bit of a reversal of what we saw on Mirage. 9 Pandas thriving in the chaos that NAVI Javelins were throwing at them at every turn in this half. One more half to go. Elimination on the line for NAVI or Anubis looming. We'll find out after the break.
Welcome back in, everyone, to this second half of the second map between NAVI Javelins and 9 Pandas. 9 Pandas, the CT side, it was chaos. It was a little bit more than what we expected, but they got a lot of rounds. They set themselves up really nicely for this T side.
Yeah, I've been really blown away by what 9 Pandas have shown us here on Ancient. I was expecting, just given the history of these teams, given what 9 Pandas have shown on Ancient before, which is very little. We just had that one really good map they had against G2. But other than that, it's just a complete mystery. And well, I think we're getting a lot of answers here because they look very good with that aggression, with handling what Na'Vi were throwing at them. And now they have a 9-6 lead and a chance to push us to that decider best of 3.
It's going to be quick as well. Coming out the gate for 9 Pandas, they want to run to A straight away. This can be heard by the donut players, so now the rotations can come over.
Yeah. Flash comes on through. VQ getting up close with the dual Beretta. She is spamming them wildly. Gets one, and those are so precise from Hanka. Oh my god, she just lines them up, picks them apart. Look at those tabs. Okay, the last one was Letty, but still, that was so precise, like a homing missile. The way she locked it on their heads, took that half a second to line it up perfectly, and then pop.
Now that was sweet. I love that Viku's just there, just in the front, just like, bah, 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 bah. And then at the back, Hanka's just like, no, tap, tap, tap.
Sorry, how did Viku go? Can you?
That's what dual Berettas sound like, right?
Yeah, I'm no firearms expert. All right, well, Viku's getting aggressive. She gets the one. And now Lena's here with her MP9 can start to clean up some more. Okay, they're actually doing a lot of damage with these Desert Eagles, but the MP9s...
Oh.
Okay, this is a lot more damage than maybe it should have been.
At least they farmed up money on the SMGs. That's the main thing, right? $600 in the pocket. So it's going to be... Again, a very expensive round, but now you can reinvest M4s. So your buy is going to be actually a hell of a lot stronger than what it would have been if you kept all the SMGs alive. But I guess you kind of forego the luxury of the bonus. Double-edged sword.
Fatal, looking to press in towards mid, front of the flames. Flash being set up here, but no contact yet. Lean up, wide swung on by Taddy. Now Letty trying to step in. Viku's found one, but Elizabeth with that kill onto Letty now makes it a bit uncomfortable for Viku to take this space. Joker feels like she needs to get something done, and well, okay, Hanker has found one as well. So 9 Pandas, they had an advantage, but Navi is so quick on the response. Now it's just Shu and Victoria, who is on 14 HP. And look at this from Hanka. Low HP gets into a very dangerous angle, a difficult one to clear.
I really like this. The fact that they've pushed both extremities, but Hanka's been a lot more passive, just allowing the players to move in tandem with one another up towards Shelf. It's all the information that it's going to be towards A. So that's where Hanka can then now step back in towards A main. And there are so many angles to clear here if you're 9 Pandas. One of them is going to be overlooked at some stage, and potentially that could be A main.
Yeah, I mean, this is all in Shu. She needs to find the space for Victoria to come on through. And I think once she starts clearing this, then she'll peek into A main. I don't think she pushes any further. And that's going to allow Hanka to have that space. Rotations are a little bit slow. There are 2 kits in play. And Victoria with low HP. Okay, well, Hanka's the one that meets fate first. How does Victoria win that? Viku's now in a 1-on-2. She was the one player without a kit as well. And that could be a concern because look at where both her players fell. One was deep in Donut. So Viku has to make her way forward to find Victoria and collect that kit. Victoria's repositioned to a very nice angle. Wow. So incredibly well played from 9 Pandas to pull up that 2 versus 3.
You're going to be honest, though, I have no idea how Victoria gets that first kill. Perfect time for the timeout as well. Have 30 seconds, you can make NAVI Javelins stew in the fact that they've lost that round. The second kill was fantastic because of the reposition, but the first one, I do not know how she wins it. NAVI Javelins should have her dead to rights in Donut.
Yeah, it feels like a little bit of a misplay there. And, well, we get the timeout for 9 Pandas, in fact. NAVI are going to force into this. The loss bonus isn't there for them, having won all of the rounds so far on this half until that round. And so they have a bit of a weird one. A M4 dropped over from Hanka to Viku. I don't know about that. I just use it if I'm Hanka. But fair enough. I guess like only one of them can get armor, so yeah. But you could have done it the other way around. Wait, no, you couldn't have. Okay, never mind. It had to be dropped to somebody.
Gap in the smoke. Okay. It falls favour to NAVI. I was really worried for VQ there, but look at the space being taken out on B. But that's where the other M4 is. Lena will strike back, and suddenly it's all gone a little bit pear-shaped for 9 Pandas Fearless. Elizabeth does find a kill in towards mid, but that allows Lena to now walk back through cave. Victoria 1v3.
Yeah, look where she is. That was it. That was the opportunity. Now she's spotted. She can drop the smoke just to go get the bomb and fight her way there. 2 players are going to be on the path. Although it is actually just Hanker at the moment that's kind of holding this angle. She's jiggling it back and forth, just getting the information. Victoria spots her out. Now she goes and collects that bomb. She goes back to B. That's the issue. That's where 2 players still are. Lena never revealed herself. And NAVI don't have to budge. This positioning they have everywhere on lockdown. I love that Hanker immediately off spotting Victoria crossing into spawn, goes deep in towards elbow, where she can hold these angles from that kind of square thing. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called, Brandon. What's it called?
I don't know. I just love the description of it.
Yeah, well, VQ finds the kill, and that was just because they had that great setup, which involved Hanker being by the square thing.
That's true. Speaking of shape on the map, don't know if I brought this up with you in cast, but I'm going to do it. When we come back, look at the mini-map, everyone, because you've got on the left-hand side near towards A main, you've got it like a capital A, and on the right-hand side for B on Ancient, it's a B.
Illuminati, right here in Ancient. Would you believe it? Pace in mid. Oh my God, Letty has no chance there. Victoria just runs on through. But Hanker is here. Hanker's tucked in, and VQ rotates over. Only good for the first. But Hanker is always good. She is so mechanically sharp, like a robot, between the angles. Gets dinked low, so Lena comes on over to support. And the pistols, they are going to be falling flat here. Elizabeth with the P250. All she has to her name. Spotted out by Lena. No chance at all. 10 apiece.
I'll be honest, this is kind of how I thought the CT side was going to go. Now that NAVI can just dictate the pace and they can actually just play their setups. If they want to get aggressive, they can. If they want to be a little bit more reserved and rely on their crossfires, that's also an option. It gives them a lot more room. And for 9 Pandas, they are setting the pace when it comes to the aggression in towards middle. But when we get the rifles out, well, we've got the kind of the mid rounds developing. I think that's where it's going to be the toughest for them to try and recover and post some rounds on the board. I feel like NAVI are in control despite the scoreline being all tied up.
Yeah, Viku gets the opener as well, and there's that one-way being used. Viku gets the second kill easily. The smoke there blooming on top of the flames in such a way to set her up there to be able to see the feet. We know how much these NAVI players love spotting feet. Victoria, she spots a bullet to the face. Lena's peek doesn't allow the AWP to get anything done. And Shu, well, with a minute left, she's got no friends. That's a little sad. No one ever wants to be lonely by themselves.
She's just like me, for real.
She's just, yeah. Except her loneliness ends with her death. And her friends come back. Just like in real life. Gamers don't die, they respawn. Remember those, like, level 2 t-shirts?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Another pause coming in.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's sick. One way. But yeah, it's another pause. That's what I was going to mention. 3 of them now being used for 9 Pandas. Has to be the partial investment. Plenty of loss bonus, so this can accommodate just a Tech 9 buy. Biggest thing we're going to run into is that they need to get the bomb down. There's been a number of rounds here where that hasn't been facilitated, which means no extra money, which means we're constantly going to get this effect. It's quite dire right now. And I like the fact they are taking the pause, but it needs to result in success.
Well, these pistols found a bit of work in towards mid last time where they just overwhelmed, but they have no way to extinguish that Molotov. Look at the damage done. The flames and the bullets combined to bring them all down incredibly low. But there's that P250. Oh, and there's the Tech 9. An AK recovered onto Fatal, who has armor. And despite all the damage done, this actually looks pretty decent for 9 Pandas. Lena, though, coming on through, spots out Elizabeth. As each of these players gets picked apart one by one, you start to feel a little bit more comfortable, but no, Fatal's found another. VQ swaps to the 5-7. Lena now walks in with that M4. Fatal's position known. There's a smoke and a Molotov. Flames go forward towards Fatal. Shu starts to swing on out, spots out VQ, and now it's all on to Lena. Gets the first kill, knows where Fatal is, taps that bomb, waiting for the swing. Fatal, she's going to swing it eventually, but the spray is wild, and Fatal clutches it out. What a steal from 9 Pandas.
Yeah, insane. We've seen that aggression coming in through middle and donut, and they just don't stop. They run all the way through. It looked pretty decent last time, but Hanka was there. This time it's a complete overwhelm. But you've got layering. You've got a player in towards A main. You've then got a player in towards red. And whilst they might not find kills, they're just slowing down the entire retake approach. But invaluable seconds off the clock, allowing for multiple different repositions. Too much for Navi to contend with.
See, there's the CT smoke towards Steph, and it works. That he's able to use that one to try and take some fights. Ooh, Victoria spots the jumping player, but doesn't hit the flick. Jelka's allowed to live another day. VQ's holding a very passive line in towards mid. They've completely conceded this control, just allowing the donut player to take full control of that and wanting an extra player to reinforce B, while 9 Pandas, they're like a straight line on the minimap. They are spread out currently.
Look at this aggression that is being held right now. Victoria on the timing, misses the shot. And the smoke coming in really helps facilitate this push. One player is out, but are you ready for Angelica on this close line?
Fatal's been given space, but it's a bit of a ruse, a bit of a setup, and oh, Lena's able to adjust onto Taddy there. That's a great kill that didn't look like it should have been hers. Now Elizabeth wants to try and get involved, but the smoke is there, and yeah, Fatal with that space that looked like it had been given up. It was all a bit of a trick. Letty was ready. Now going to go back up towards 8. Hanka with a well-timed smoke. It's going to cause issues. The T-smoke might actually cause Lady to look away, but she's hurt Elizabeth. That spam is great. Was actually through the smoke. Killfeed didn't pick that one up, and yeah, they're getting picked apart. They can't go for this, and well, they're not even going to be allowed to save. Lena is here, takes down Victoria. At least Shu gets that trade, gets herself the AWP. She can hold on to that. That's all they get in this round, and Navi, they're going to be in the lead. Ooh, okay.
Don't die after
secondary
time.
AWP.
Oh, no.
You said not to do that.
Yeah. But she did anyway. That hurts. $1,100. And that's a prime example of Navi being aggressive on one side of the map, but relying heavily on their crossfires and their protocols on the other. Allowing 9 Pandas to feel like they've got this space, and they're like, oh, okay, this feels pretty good. We've got this control, but Letty's holding a tight angle, even follows up on towards the second. You've got hankering on A, just anchoring and maintaining. NAVI Javelins know what gaps they're leaving in the defense, and then they're right back there plugging them as soon as they're taking space somewhere else.
Well, pace this time towards B. Lena re-peeking and fully blind gets the kill onto Fatal. Now Angelica has an opportunity to farm up. There's even a team kill in the mix just to add salt to the wound. Shu gets taken down by her teammate. Navi now, they can almost taste that grand final spot. Just 3 rounds away from securing it. With 9 Pandas, they have another stand here. All power for Victoria. AK's on the rest. This is the moment.
Yeah, this is the breaking point for 9Pandas Fearless. This has to be the most pivotal round in the game for them. Aggressive deep smoke being thrown out in towards mid. Yet again, these incendiaries are just not being put out here. Tati even taking flak. Flashbang's perfect. Fatal somehow still finds Letty. And yet again, Tati strikes back. Another advantage falling in favor of 9Pandas.
You can't lose this 4v3. Navi have been actually great at coming back from these disadvantageous positions, and that might have been an example of it, but oh, maybe it is. Angelica goes back in, the double dip, finds herself the kill, and then Hanka finds one as well. And now it's all falling apart. Both these players are wounded, one's removed. Victoria has an AWP and a dream. It's not a nice dream. It's a dream where 3 women are charging you down, looking to take you down, and VQ is the one that puts her in the grave. 14 for Navi, and 9Pandas. Look at the money, Brandon. It's dire.
Yeah. Taking a pause to think about it, because look, here's your decision making. Do you want to go Tech 9s and try and go through Donut again because it has kind of worked? Or do you want to have 2 kind of pretty okay buys with Galil's Mac 10s? That's your consideration. It looks like they're going to go all in. Fatal's immediately purchased an AK. Pistols, not really a possibility. It's going to have to be Galil's coming out here. So you're going to have like 2 Galil buys for 9Pandas.
So at least 9Pandas listened to Miss Harvey about the timeouts. They've used all 4 in this map.
That's true. Oh, I don't like the scout.
Well, yeah. On T side as well, like, I feel like it's just worse, obviously. But, like, it just feels a lot worse in terms of... Well, anyway, a little bit better. VQ gets the tag, falls on back, drops the flames, and everyone has kept at bay now. Look at Hanker on the other side of this smoke. If they decide to disrespect her, she'll be in the perfect position to farm up, and she does just that. 2 kills. VQ drops another, and even the tag, and the bullets through the smoke. It's salt in the wound, smoke in the face, and 15 series point for Navi.
Yeah, staring down right at 9Pandas as well, menacingly. As mentioned, this is going to be another similar purchase, and we just saw how well that one went. Maybe a change of direction, maybe a change of pace needed. 9Pandas, I feel like in the last couple of weeks, are being very active on their T side. They're applying a lot of acceleration into their play, and that is something that they haven't always been doing. So maybe it's the change up. Maybe they think, look, we can get our individuals in these positions where they can strike full blind, immediate trade. The 4 versus 4, this potentially could be the beginning of the end, especially with Lena getting a lot of attention to allow Angelica to try and walk through.
Ooh, she's found that kill as well, looking for more, but the spray's a little wild. Tati is able to trade. A 3v3 commences. VQ in towards mid with the AWP. Both the Navi players now looking to get information. Elizabeth's holding for this. It's well handled, but the shots don't connect, and she feels that maybe they're going to swing on around, but they just spam on through the door. The bullets rain on through, create an opening, and take her down. Shu and Tati now with everything to do. Tati spotted over towards mid, and that's got some questioning whether A will be the play. Shu's disrespected this smoke and walked all the way into the B bomb site. At the moment, nobody's here, and that's going to be a little bit concerning for her. How far does she decide to push this? Oh, I like it. I like it a lot, but she needs to swing on through before Tati gets here. There it is. Shu walks in from behind, gets a kill. The smoke can come on down to give the cover to Cross. Letty does arrive and makes her presence known, but the bomb gets planted. That spam doesn't quite connect, and neither does the orb shot through. The flames at least can be dispensed, and there are kits, a bit of utility on Letty as well, but these smokes are keeping them at bay for now. He's trying to find something around the back of it. Viku misses the quick shot and leaves it onto Letty, but Tati is there. And 9Pandas recover from a very difficult position.
Yeah, really good round from 9Pandas. As you mentioned, Shu pushing through the smoke, getting the backstab on towards Lena, who's been a constant thorn in their side, 25-17. Viku's right up there with her as well. That was expertly done because it was NAVI Javelins applying pressure all over the map. There's so many pushes coming in at different times, which makes it very overwhelming. but it's that pocket of space found out towards B that just allows this round to be really well crafted.
Well, it's more pace, and it's Hanka trying to take the aggression. Look at that. That's a beautiful double up. Fatal does get the double in response, though. She'd gotten into mid quickly, courtesy of less support there from NAVI. So it looked like a great opening maneuver is immediately countered by Fatal. And look at Letty sitting all the way back. Her sight lines are always fantastic. Feels like she gets into these deep angles, and it's so hard to be ready for her. Fatal's about to be tasting Angelica. Oh, no, she's ready for it. Able to adjust. That timing doesn't work out for her. VQ's there with this shot. Leaves now on to Elizabeth. Another clutch required. Oh, spots the arm of Letty. Now she's known. Smoke can be deployed. That's going to block off the vision, allow her to get this bomb on over. Actually taps it to try and fake it through, and Letty just catches her on the spam, trying to get up to shenanigans, but NAVI have none of it, and they take the series.
What I got to say, though, is really well played from 9Pandas. They performed really well, far above expectations on Ancient. We expected that scoreline to kind of be over on Mirage, but no, they did deliver. They showed us why they don't mind NAVI picking it into them. They've learned from their lessons. The acceleration is there. The mechanics, they were pretty much on point, but you go toe-to-toe with NAVI. Unfortunately, there's only one result.
Yeah, and I mean, just look at the performance they put up here. Just some of the individuals really shining, and it was just the whole team stepping up as well, right? I think that's the key thing from NAVI. Across both maps, it just feels like everyone has been popping off. All of the stars have been shining for them. And I think on this map, we saw a lot more of what we expect to see from 9Pandas. This is the kind of fight that, you know, we wanted to see on Mirage. It's kind of where we would normally see them thrive, but it felt like it took them a little bit to warm up into this series. And unfortunately, when you're in a semi-final here, you don't have that time to warm up, because now we have to say goodbye. And it means NAVI, though, lock themselves in for the grand final.
And they look pretty scary as well. All the individuals are really stepping up from map to map. Hanka looked really good. Lena as well elevated her game on Ancient. And it's good to see that we haven't really got like the VQ show. And despite not having the VQ show, we basically still get it as well, because she's getting 20 kills map on map. It is incredible to watch this NAVI Javelins improve and progress week on week.
Yeah, Nick, it's going to get you excited about that grand final, right? A best of 5 that NAVI will now be one of the teams there. Enigma Galaxy or NIP, they'll be joining them. We'll find that one out a little bit later. And I think no matter which team of those goes through, I think it sets us up for a really explosive grand final to finish things off.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. But for now, we've got to throw it to a break. When we come back, it's going to be the gang breaking it all down.
Gamers, UNICEF and I need you by our side for a real-life mission. A mission to protect the rights of every child. After news cameras have left, UNICEF is here. Every day, everywhere, but particularly where it's needed most. Did you know that more than 170 million children need UNICEF's humanitarian aid this year? At Gamers Without Borders, many of you have already chosen UNICEF, and I thank you for that. Choosing UNICEF is the easiest and smartest decision you can make, because you're investing in a child, and investing in a child guarantees lifelong returns, not only for that child, but also for their community and for our world.
The divisions in the world are stark. Recent years have shown some of the largest natural disasters ever in history. And that really hits hardest the people who had the least to begin with. These people need help. It would be a real tragedy if all these advances in science and health and technology only benefit people in a position to pay for them. There should be no lesser standard if you happen to be poor. These problems can be overcome. Direct Relief is a humanitarian, nonprofit health organization. The focus has been on the least fortunate, most vulnerable people. On a good day, Things are tough for a lot of people in this world and in this country. And what we can do is mobilize private resources for their benefit and make it available free of charge. We're the first nonprofit in the history of the United States to obtain accreditation just like a commercial distributor. And it's been expanded geographically to every country in the world and every state and territory of the United States. What's now Direct Relief officially was started in 1948 as a private effort of a war immigrant businessman named William Zimden. The basic guiding principles of a war immigrant businessman really influence what Direct Relief has done ever since. And they begin with just serving the people who need help. We have this great privilege of engaging with people who come in from very different backgrounds, but with the same purpose of trying to just do something good. It doesn't matter if you're typing or talking on the phone or working on the warehouse floor. They're all part of an effort that means something bigger, and that is the fuel that kind of keeps you going. It gives you some sense that there is a way to make meaningful progress, even for a little organization that started at a kitchen table, but that's what provides motivation in life. The notion that many people, just by virtue of where they're born, the color of their skin, the country they live in, they're going to get sicker, they're going to stay sicker longer, and they're going to die sooner. That's pretty good motivation. These issues are too big for any one organization to address. We really work hard to honor these guiding principles, invite people to participate, and we are sure thankful for the thousands of people across the country and world who have become part of Direct Relief by virtue of their participation.
Progress is a race that has no end. After every finish line, another challenge awaits. How can we continue to push innovation in a sport at the forefront of technology? This is how. Discover how Aramco and the Aston Martin Formula One team aim to meet Formula One's sustainable fuel targets. Aramco, powered by How.
Welcome back to our Women's Counter-Strike tournament here at Gamers Without Borders. We have our first finalist in this $2.5 million charity tournament. NAVI Javelins have taken that win, and they'll be playing in the grand final tomorrow in our best of 5. They've secured their spot fairly rapidly, and their their win streak, there we go, I combined the 2 weeks. Their win streak continues. Sapphire, I'm going to come to you first because, you know, we should briefly touch on that last map because it was a shaky start to the first half, but, you know, they found their feet. That win, it kind of felt inevitable towards the end, didn't it?
It did, yeah. We were all thinking, is there a chance this is map 3 first half? It was looking like that might be the case, but then Navi just again looks so dominant on the second half, just so comfortable. Even when they're down, they just always look like they have the confidence to make a comeback. And then just across the board, every player really had their shining moments, and obviously Viku crushed it as usual, but a lot of that was from map 1 and map 2. Like, the other players got a chance to have their shining moments, getting these entry frags, getting a number of clutches, just a good contribution across the board from this team. Navi is truly looking like one of the best in Europe.
I mean, even if we're looking at kills, look all the way down at the bottom with Letty. Even still, it's a great performance, Steph. I mean, and touching back on Sapphire, we can't do takesies backsies again. Even if we were going to map 3, I wouldn't have given that to you. Sorry, Sapphire.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
For Steph, like I said, Letty's performance, even really an incredible performance, and yet she's still sitting at the bottom of the pack with in terms of kills.
Yeah, it feels like she had more impact than what the scoreboard showed. But as we take a look at these replays, I have to echo almost everything that Heather said, even though, I kind of liked Inshin for 9 Pandas. I think that there's a lot of really good rounds, a lot of moment where they could have ran away with the victory. It's just, it feels like they're falling apart in the second halves of both of these maps, but it definitely was a bit closer. Too slow to warm up maybe versus NAVI. Maybe they were feeling the pressure. It's not quite sure what happened on 9 Pandas compared to yesterday and how solid they were, but it definitely, you know, didn't pan out today. And on the NAVI side, we just have to talk about how everyone, it was so solid. Everyone was so performant. They came in extremely ready, and to be fair, they also won 4 pistols in this matchup, and I think that's important because versus a team like NAVI, you have to win at least 1 pistol out of the 4 if you want a shot at winning, and if you want a shot at shutting down a Viku who's going to be on the op really early in each AFs if you're able to win pistols.
I mean, just look at that. An absolute no-brainer for that series. Viku with the MVP brought to you by Savvy. That average damage per round is just, it's pretty outrageous if you ask me, Sapphire.
Yeah, Viku, it is incredible, right? Like especially if we look back to the ESL Impact season over the course of so many matches, Viku is still #1 rating across the board. And that is surpassing Anna, who has historically and everyone agrees that Anna is like the AWPer in Europe, the AWPer in the world for women's Counter-Strike, but Viku is challenging for that spot, and we saw another MVP performance from Viku today.
I mean, Viku seemed to be having not as much of an impact in map 2, and I was thinking it, and then she suddenly dropped bombs on 9 Pandas, and I was like, you know what? I think these pro players, they can hear me, they can either hear what I'm saying, they can hear my thoughts, so I'm just going to stop thinking that. I'm starting to get worried about it, but let's just crack on, okay? We are now going to be joined in the studio by none other than Letty from our first finalist team, NAVI Javelins. Letty, congratulations. You are now guaranteed, by the way, to be donating at least $600,000 to a charity of your choice. What does that mean to you and your team?
It's something huge for me and for my team also. Like, we didn't think that some of these events gonna come for female scene, so I'm very happy that we can be part of this.
Yeah, it's honestly incredible that this amount of money is being donated. Letty, it's my first time talking to you. I'm super impressed with the way that you joined that roster. It's so hard to be the last joining 5th. Throughout my career, I've realized this is so much pressure on the player, but you seem to be fitting like a glove on NAVI. How has your experience been since you joined?
It was big pressure for me from the beginning, but right now I feel really comfortable with girls and with my team. We work hard, we try hard, and I think everybody can see that we're playing really good. I'm really happy that I'm in NAVI and I can compete with other teams on that high level.
Congratulations, Letty. So tomorrow in the grand finals, you're going to face either NIP or you're going to face Nigma Galaxy. What are your thoughts about that grand finals matchup? Is there a team that you prefer to play against and why?
It would be nice to play against Nigma Galaxy, of course, because my team lost last match on ESL Katowice against them. So it's gonna be really good to compete with them again and check who's better right now.
Well, you are our first finalist, and not only that, but you're our first finalist ever in Gamers Without Borders history in women's Counter-Strike. Now, is there anything you would like to say to your community who have been supporting you throughout not only this weekend, but the whole Impact season leading up till now?
I'm so grateful that everybody said good things to me when I joined to NAVI, and everybody supporting me. So I'm really thank you, and I'm glad that everybody's supporting us so much.
Well, Letty, thank you so much for joining us in the studio for your post-match interview. We really look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's Best of 5, and best of luck for tomorrow.
Thank you so much, guys.
Ooh. I mean, that was pretty outrageous, but diving straight into the playoff bracket, we have NAVI Javelins being our first name that appears in that grand final for tomorrow. Who will be joining them later on? We're going to find out, well, shortly, I would say, when Enigma Galaxy go up against Ninjas in Pajamas. You know, sometimes there's just no clawing it back for 9Pandas. I was thinking that as we were kind of thinking about what happened in that last map. But with that first semi-final over, that map, what are you thinking about the next match? Sorry, Sapphire.
I just want to see one of these series go to 3 maps, right? Okay, I think, you know, we're gonna have a clear-cut favorite here. I don't think anyone's gonna agree once we get into talking about that match, but we want it to be interesting. We want this gap to close. We want Enigma Galaxy to be challenged, and maybe Nip will be the one to challenge them today.
Steph, are we going to have a butting of heads before we go into the next match? Are we going to have you go opping for, you know, NIP maybe?
Well, it's so hard to go against Enigma. It's kind of silly to be going against Enigma, but I also want to see a 3 map. I want to see a 14-14. But right now, I don't know if it was cast or cursed, but 9Pandas didn't really play well. So I don't know if maybe if I root for Enigma, Nip is gonna do well. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, the good news for both of you is that you have a very short break to think about it, to mull it over, and we'll discuss it when we come back. So with that being said, go grab a cup of tea, go grab a snack, have a bathroom break, because when we get back, we're going to find our next finalists who are going to be joining NAVI tomorrow in our Best of 5 grand final. Don't go anywhere.